Travel doesn't have to be expensive. You just have to know where to look, what to skip, and what sneaky tricks to use. Let's go. Hi, I'm Alice. I'm a chartered accountant and I'm interested in all things personal finance and sometimes a bit of personal development. And I work full time, but I'm also leveling up my finances. I have traveled a lot recently, so I feel pretty qualified to talk about travel. It's not my usual content when I talk about personal finance, but it's something I'm really passionate about, so I wanted to share it with you in this video. Everyone wants to travel more, but most people assume that it's just too expensive and it's not in their budget. But here's the truth, you're probably just overspending because you don't know these hacks. From flight tricks to hotel deals, I'm breaking down everything I do and what you should do to travel more for less. Let's get into it. Flight and airline hacks. Let's start with budget airlines like Ryanair, for example. Here's a little trick that most people miss. When it asks, add a cabin bag, say no, even if you want to add one. On the first screen, say no. Then go to the checkout and say yes when it asks you the second time. The second time, it's actually cheaper. This is because the first time when you try to add a cabin bag, it actually also gives you a seat included and priority boarding. If this is something that you're interested in, okay, cool. But for the most people, I don't think they are. I really couldn't care less about priority boarding. Sometimes I do like to choose a seat, but I know most people do not. So add that bag at the end instead of choosing the fare that includes the small bag at the start. Okay, also the duty-free bag trick. I have used this for years and years and years, and I have never, ever been told that I have to pay anything for having this bag. You are allowed with every airline, even the budget airlines, you are permitted one duty-free bag. So that is the shopping that you buy in the airport. However, it doesn't mean that you need to buy anything in the airport. So if I have a pair of shoes, for example, that does not fit in my suitcase, but I really want to take them. Of course, you can't wear two pairs of shoes. I know some people like to wear double on the plane to save space, but put it in a duty-free bag. If you don't have one, put it in a plastic bag, and when you get to the airport, get a duty-free bag. Sometimes they'll just let you have one. Sometimes you do need to buy something. I have often bought a little bit of chocolate or something that I needed anyway and asked for a big bag and then put my stuff in there. I have never ever been asked to show a receipt, and I've taken probably about 50 flights with a duty-free bag in the last few years. You can fill it with snacks, you can fill it with clothes or something that wouldn't fit in your suitcase, a jacket, even electronics. The people at the gate will not even look at it. Okay, another tip for flights, which is not about cabin bags, is about using Google Flights. So a lot of people that I tell about this are really surprised. But then also some people say, yeah, this was obvious. So some of you really might know this and some of you might not. But Google Flights is an amazing way to get the best deal on a flight route. It gives you a lot of different options. It shows whether a bag is included or not. And I love the price grid. So in the price grid, you can go along up and down on different dates, play around with the outbound and return date and see which is the cheapest. It is so great. And if you want to filter by airline, you can do that and still look at the price grid and see what the prices are with specific airlines on specific dates. Shift your trip by just 1 week or even a few days, maybe flying on a Tuesday instead of a Thursday, and you could save hundreds, if not thousands if going long haul. If you're someone that likes a bit of luxury and you want to fly in business or first class, then use those Avios points. So I have an American Express card that is attached to my British Airways Executive Club. So every pound that I spend gives me 1 Avios point. Sometimes there's deals where certain shops will give you like 4 Avios points per pound spent. Also, I get points for flying with airlines on normal flights. So for example, with Spain, I fly with Iberia a lot. And as British Airways, Iberia and American Airlines and Qatar Airways are all connected, you can transfer points between these 4 airlines very easily and for free. So I basically earn my points from my British Airways American Express card and also all the flights that I take with Iberia. I take them with work as well, so I get a lot of points for that, especially when they're long haul to the US. And yeah, so that is a great way to use your points. Recently, I wanted to go from Amsterdam back to Madrid. and the flights were like 300 plus euro, and I managed to get a reward flight on the exact day that I wanted to fly on for 12,500 points, which is a steal. So I only had to pay about 80 euro in taxes, so that saved me almost 300 euros on a flight just because I had those 12,000 points. So my top tip there is to always fly with the same airlines or the same airline group. So in my case, I will always fly with Iberia. If not out of Spain, I will fly with BA or AA, and to the Middle East, Qatar Airways. Often you will get the chance to upgrade your flight on check-in, and you can do this with Avios. If not, you can search for reward flights. Just when you're searching for your flights on Iberia, for example, tick the book with Avios. You can do the same with Qatar Airways, and you will be able to see which days your journey has reward flights. You use your points and you can get business class for sometimes 45,000 points with Qatar Airways, which is crazy cheap. I think I actually saw one recently from Doha to Madrid for 35,000 points in business class. If this is Q-Suite, that is an absolute steal. Okay, moving on to hotels and accommodation. Here's where people lose money fast. Booking hotels without comparing. So a lot of people use comparison websites, but sometimes they're not always taking everything into consideration. I feel like Google definitely compares the most. I have been guilty of booking through booking.com in the past, but booking.com for me usually has the highest prices. Use Google to search the name. You'll see rates from every site, Expedia, booking.com. Usually the actual hotel's own website will be the cheapest price. And often when you book through the hotel website, you might get added extras, benefits like free breakfast or free meals or a room upgrade. One site can be up to 20% plus cheaper for the same room. Again, hotel points. You can get this in a variety of ways. So I like to have an account for every hotel chain, and when I stay at one with work, I can just add my stays there. A lot of hotel chains, if you book through their website, you might stay for 5 nights and get one free, or sometimes 10 nights and you get one free. This is really great idea if you want to choose always the same hotel chains. Like with the airlines, it might be a good idea to also always stay with the same hotel chain. So maybe you always want to stay at a Hilton or a Marriott, and then you will build up your points and you will get free nights. There are also some credit cards that are linked with certain hotels, and you can pay for hotels with your Avios points. So I'm pretty sure with British Airways Executive Club, you can actually pay for like Marriott hotels, for example. I don't know if that one is actually included, but with your Avios points. So again, points for travel. Do not spend more on your credit card just to be able to have those points. But if you're spending that money anyway, it's a no-brainer to get a reward out of it. Remember to always book through the hotel chains websites, because loyalty pays off and you will earn points for free nights that way. And again, usually it's actually cheaper than comparison websites. So it's a win-win. Okay, section 3, plan smarter, spend less. Go off season. So a couple of things here. One, go off season. So if you don't have kids that have to go away in the school holidays, it's a no-brainer to go off season. Even flying a week earlier or a week later can make huge savings. For example, going to Thailand in mid-January versus going over Christmas can save you around $1,000 per person. You have the January blues anyway, so that's amazing. Enjoy Christmas at home and then go away for January when everybody else is sad. Thailand also has really good weather in January. Another tip that I swear by is budget in advance. Do not wait to book a holiday and then take that out of your salary. This is going to mean that your budgeting is all messed up and you're going to have high spending periods and low spending periods. You want to even that out. So treat travel like a goal, not a surprise expense. Every month, I add to a Revolut pocket a certain amount to add up through the year. And then when I want to book a hotel or when I want to book a flight, I will pay out of that pocket for that thing. I actually know some people that do this for everything. So they have a pocket for holiday, they have a pocket for gifts. I have both of those sinking funds, but some people also divide their salary into pockets. So they know how much they've got for restaurants, how much they've got for clothes, etc., etc. But for holidays, I think it's a crucial thing to do do to make sure you're managing your finances wisely. It's like a digital version of back of the envelope investing, but for experiences. By the time I'm ready to book, the money is already there. Okay, another tip that absolutely will save you so much money is plan the trip yourself instead of going through a group tour or an organizer. Are you tempted by those $3,000 group tours, all-inclusive Asia adventure, group packages? I get it. It sounds easy. You show up, you go, and they take you everywhere on the bus and you don't have to plan. But actually, there's something like not so authentic about that as well. Of course, in some areas like India, I kind of recommend maybe doing this or definitely having private drivers instead of public transport for safety reasons. However, in a lot of places, especially Southeast Asia, the markups from these group packages are mental. Even a 4-star hotel in Southeast Asia is a very good price, and you end up staying in worse accommodation for higher prices, and it's just not worth it for me. Like, it's kind of fun. Just plan your trip yourself. Use ChatGPT. Now we have ChatGPT, we have no excuses. That can literally plan the itinerary for you. And then all you have to do is go on booking.com, go on your hotel comparison websites and book the travel. And ask ChatGPT also which activities you need to book in advance. And then I like to add it to like an Excel spreadsheet. I like to add it to Google Sheets so that I have all the itinerary planned out. You could ask ChatGPT to make you a PDF to build the full itinerary. A 2-week Asia trip that costs $3,000 or euros or pounds through a package can actually cost about $1,500 by booking it yourself. That is literally a 50% saving. With $1,500, imagine all the clothes that you can buy for that trip. Or that could be money invested. If you're young and you're traveling solo and you want to meet people, these group packages can be great. But nowadays, even if you book it yourself, if you stay in a hostel, you will meet people. You can also put spontaneity into your itinerary. Sometimes you meet people and then you actually end up going to a different area. But if you can book some things by yourself in advance, not go through tours, it's just going to save you so much money. And for me, travel is more than just a trip. Here's a mindset shift that changed how I travel. A third of the joy of travel is actually the planning. You get to experience all the cool things that you can do in that place when you're looking at the itinerary, when you're writing it into Google Sheets, when you are looking online at the nice accommodations and the nice activities that you can do. A third is actually being there, so the trip itself. And then a third is the memories that you keep after. So the photos, the videos, the funny stories that you have to tell your friends. So plan early, get excited, and you'll also save money along the way. So that's it. To wrap up, this is how I travel smart without feeling restricted. 1. Use Ryanair's bag hack online and the duty-free bag trick. 2. Compare hotels on Google, use comparison websites, and use reward programs. 3. Travel off season if you can and be flexible. 4. Set up a holiday fund and save monthly. 5. Book your own trip, not overpriced group tours. And 6. Make planning part of the fun. Seriously, it adds value. Do you want a downloadable PDF with all of these tips? Well, if you want to leave a comment below, I will send it to you for free. I hope this saves you some money, and I hope you can travel the world, live out your dreams, and see everything that this beautiful planet has to offer. Hit like, subscribe, leave a comment down below if you have any other travel tips. I would absolutely love to hear them if it could help anybody else see the world. And if you think this video could help any of your friends, then be sure to share it with them. And if you're interested in personal finance in general, then subscribe to my channel. Watch any of these videos here that YouTube is going to recommend you. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.